Jai Mother. Charanam Sharanam Ramambike, Charanam Sharanam Trayambage. At the feet of Divine Mother Sree Rama Devi by Mrs. T.N.K Nair, the Divine Ministry audio book, Part 5E. At that moment, as if under some superhuman compulsion, the aged Purohit of the temple approached the shrine. He moved as one who was oblivious of his surroundings. Standing before the holy shrine, with tears of joy in his eyes, he reverentially started to perform the arati. Simultaneously, accompanied by Vadyaghosha, all the temple bells pealed out in acclamation of that blessed presence. All the man-made rules and temple disciplines and traditions gave way before that godly power. The orthodox Purohit would never have thought of offering puja to a human person, and that too at an unscheduled hour. But the divine Shakti, who alone creates and sustains, was having her divine Leela. The Purohit saw only the auspicious Vaibhavas and Kalas of the Devi in Mother. As he continued to perform the Arati, the lotus-like hands of Mother turned into the mudra of acceptance of his worship. We were reminded of that incident in Sri Chaitanya's life when, in the grand revelation of as Sri Krishna, he imperiously received the worship of his devotees. The puja was over, and in the hushed silence that followed, an awareness came to many a heart that Mother was indeed the Devi incarnate. The veil was drawn for a moment, and she was before them as living truth. Then, as suddenly as she had entered, Mother came down the steps. Straight and still she stood, embodying the body, beauty and majesty of Kali, formidable in her force, yet approachable in her compassion. The crowd broke loose and rushed forward to prostrate at those lotus feet. The whole assemblage thus paid her their tribute, for in that sacred hour the Kali of the temple was before them, a dynamic living goddess, bestowing all boons and protection. Unexpectedly, in a powerful thundering voice, Mother proclaimed, "Whosoever has perceived today this infinitude of my true nature, to each and every one of them my blessing shall ever prevail. This is my promise, Satyam, Satyam." The voice resounded from the walls of the temple, including all in that all-embracing benediction. On hearing that godly assurance, the ecstasy of the devotees broke all bounds. It was the voice of the goddess, heard by the sages after thousands of years of tapas, that thundered over them. Like the sun in the zenith, she stood, both hands raised, bestowing benediction. Time passed by unnoticed. Then there was slight movement in Mother, and suddenly, with closed eyes, Mother hastened through the crowds straight towards the waiting car. The crowd fell back, making way for that commanding figure. As Mother entered the car, we too hastened home. On reaching our home, we found Mother in the car, still in Samadhi. Half an hour later, she stepped down from the car, and still in Bhava, Mother went up to her room and closed the door. The whole house was pervaded with a heavenly fragrance. Such was the impact of her manifestation that people in the house moved about, speaking in hushed voice. It was late in the evening when Mother came out of her room. She had been absorbed in samadhi the whole day and had taken no food or water. After the divine incident at the temple, an unusually large number of devotees gathered in our house in eager expectancy of darshan. But the overwhelming intensity of that great Mahabhava was with her still, and granting a silent darshan, Mother retired to her room. Time will reveal the immensity of that unique revelation of Divine Mother, portraying to human eyes the wonderful play of the Almighty at the time of Advent. The town of Trichur was wonderstruck, for never in the history of that ancient temple had anyone other than the Purohit entered the shrine or touched the deity. Later on, I learned from different people their diverse experiences. For some, the vibrant words and figure lingered in their hearts. The face and form of Mother was imprinted in their consciousness, and they went about their duties mechanically. Others were there who saw not the Mother's form, but the Kali of Paramekav herself proclaiming her blessings. Yet others were there who suffered from mental delusions and fits believed to be due to the influence of evil spirits. Incredibly, from that time onwards, they were cured of their maladies and became normal beings. Many others recognized Mother as their savior and became Mother's devoted disciples. Other important events during those 12 days included a visit to Tiruvambadi Krishna temple. It was an important temple as the Paramekav, with an equally large circles of devotees who were staunch in their devotion to Krishna. There too Mother was given a rousing reception by the temple authorities. The temple was packed with devotees. The beautiful Vigraha of Krishna was radiant as Balagopala, with flowers, sandalwood, paste, and ornaments. The moment Mother saw the deity, the name of Krishna emerged from her and she was absorbed in samadhi. We sang songs of Sri Krishna. All around was the sweet fragrance emanating from Mother, and her Krishna Bhava visibly and invisibly touched all hearts. When Mother came back to body consciousness, she saw a large number of children crowding around her in devout adoration. With great tenderness, Mother spoke to them, holding before them the great ideals they should follow. Mother was ever concerned about the rising generation. In simple words, she exhorted them to love God and to hold on to His name. Mother then made them repeat Ramanam with her. As her voice rose in the ecstasy of Ramanam, not only the children but the whole assemblage took up the japa, and the temple resounded with the divine name. The sovereign peace and love of the Mother spread over all. Decades have passed since these glorious happenings. Only now are we able to gauge the immense import of Mother's visits to various temples. In those days, even though bhakti was there, temples were more or less functioning in a dormant state. With the visit of Mother, all these temples became citadels of bhakti. Various spiritual programs were started, attracting thousands to the lotus feet of God. The advent of God is not for a small circle of devotees alone. The Shastras say that by the touch of the feet of these divine beings, temples, holy places, and rivers are all vivified, made pure, and a fresh impetus given to the spreading of bhakti. चरणं शरणं रमाम्बिके चरणं शरणं त्रयम्बके चरणं शरणं रमाम्बिके चरणं शरणं त्रयम्बके चरणं शरणं रमाम्बिके चरणं शरणं त्रयम्बके. जय माता.